I guess first thing I'm gonna do is try and figure out if I can actually still drive this track with this truck, car, whatever it wants to call itself. I guess I'll start with a barber setup since it was well received and it's my most recent one and it seemed like it was decent to me. I got a couple of ideas of things I want to try. In general, it's probably going to be mostly the same as the barber setup, I would think. But I've got a couple of ideas to make things better over curbs. So I'll do a few laps and then we'll kind of go from there. We definitely need to make the gear longer. Because that is way short. Probably try the 450 first. Well, actually that might be too much. Go 457. Actually, oh, we should be good. Ah!
You're back in that rhythm.
Okay, you have to slow down for that chicane a lot more than I was expecting. Not really happy with how it rotates in slow corners. Feels really lazy. It's then kind of opposite to how it is through that S-bend where it's all over the place. Hey man.
Minute 0.37. Damn it! Well, I've learned what I needed to learn anyway. That chicane's really dumb. It's kind of lazy in slow speed corners, and then kind of unstable in fast corners. I feel like I get the curb hopping better. Yeah, I don't know where this next SOR race is actually. I feel like it's a decent sized track, so that should be decent.
Aha! Configuration BESWEC. I'm on the wrong one. I will reload and load the correct one. I thought I was. Yeah, 5 flags. You say, I'm sure we never used to drive the GP circuit. BESWEC. Five flags should actually be good. It's usually a good race. In fairness, I don't think Stafford was too bad. If I hadn't been shuffled all the way back to last, I think I'd have actually done alright there. I would just have to wait 15 minutes for Nurburgring to load. Yeah, I think I was honestly a little bit too loose, but it's kind of whatever. Right, so the ballast is all the way back, and it still kind of felt lazy. Could go up on track bar, but I don't really want to do that. I'm going to try the thing that I wanted to try with shocks. I might also try picking the rear ups on. I definitely think rear height needs to come up.
Yeah. I definitely need something to fix that. I'm probably gonna have to check some track bar in and some ballast. Because at the moment it's just way too ridiculously difficult to get through that section. It's kind of lean on front tires. I sort of expected that a little. We'll try pulling the rear up a ½ inch. There's like this bizarreness happening where somehow the heights all end up out of sync. Let me get 1.9. Only on one side. And the bar is annoying in this car because for whatever reason it's never, you can never get the preload to be 0 with the heights flat, and I don't know why. You end up doing stuff like that to try and get it all the same, but it doesn't work because I did it wrong. That'll do. We're close enough. It'll get changed anyway, so. Got up 2 inches on track bar. Might have to go up on rear spring actually. In fact, we're gonna do that first. Obviously the heights couldn't possibly comply, just for one time. Alright, let's try that. I don't run in it anymore. I help with setups for it, and a little bit on the admin side of stuff. I did race it. I won 2 championships in this league. Back when it used to do half-season trucks, half-season Xfinity car. It's a good league. feel like this thing for the shocks only works on the front shocks. It's better through the side speed stuff though, so that's good. It was a bad idea to go down at first. Ah, there's something I don't like about this right now. Hey, Steven. I reckon I can go softer on front spring. I might need to check telemetry to be sure of that. Still leaning on fronts a bunch. I really don't want to use trap bar to get it turning. I go for a longer gear as well because the chipping right before that happens annoying me. Let's try just a little bit of trap bar. It feels better through there. But here's the real test. So how well he gets through here. The track bar does seem to have helped. It's got it sort of more rotating on its own without wheeling, but which is good. But not in like a horrible way. I'm a big fan of that like slide that keeps happening. Yeah, it is fun. I do enjoy it. I wish the FPS was better on this track though. And the load times are killer. I feel like I need to keep just throwing ballast at it just so that we'll actually be able to get through the S without dying. Classic layout without the arena. Yeah, I accidentally loaded the GP circuit with the silly chicane at the end. And like the first time I got to it, I was like, "What is this?" Yeah, it's still leaning on front to on. I wonder if I can get away with going softer still in the front. Yeah, let's try 950s. Let's move the ballast another 5. Or whatever gets it past tech inspection. 4? Okay, it won't pass. Do 5 and just do it properly. Bar preload is just so annoying. Given that I've gone up on the ballast, I'm gonna go up on track bar a bit more again. I'm gonna try 8. This might be too much. I'm actually gonna add some front toe as well, just to hopefully get some more stability from the thing. Really, I come back to cambers. So I'm gonna turn telemetry on just because I want to see if I just want to see if I'm actually dragging the front. Because I feel like I might be in that S bend and that might be what's causing the problem. He's very touchy through those corners. Starting to think I might actually be too high on rear spring. It just feels like there's no rear grip at the minute. Yeah, it's just kind of sliding. And yeah, I know. I mean, it's still 92 track temp, so it's not that low, but at the same time, it's not that high. I mean, the Schumacher S has always been difficult in these things, but usually the rest of the track is okay. And at the moment, it just kind of feels wild. What's weird about it though is it's like dead in the middle of the corner. It feels like there's not a lot of grip.
1 minute 57.11.
Yeah, at least it's not minimum 10. 65 in overcast. Alright, let's take a look at tires. Slow down, making you look bad. I'm not making you look bad. Yeah. I guess it works out being balanced on the basis that it's tight in some corners and then it's loose in others. But let me check front height real quick with telemetry. Yeah, I can do that. maybe use a different workbook than that. There we go. So I guess we're kind of okay. I wouldn't say we're on the track anywhere. There's that little bit going into 1 where it's really low, which probably means it's on it. And what have we got there? Like 75, right? So what difference? Like 50 mil difference, so it's probably 25 mil lower than what it's saying on the edge. So it's like 15 mil height. We're probably okay. What's it like in the Schumacher S? Yeah, again, likely it's fine. In which case, I'm going to save that now, as it is. But I'm going to try reducing my rear spring again. Now that I've got the track bar there to hold it anyway. This kind of feels... Well, I've actually got rear toe. I always forget that. So, yeah, let's not do a spring change. Let's add some rear toe. I kind of want to do more than just one thing there. I'm going to flatten out my shock settings. I'm going to go back to 16/16 in the rear. I always make big changes on shocks because otherwise it's really difficult to actually tell if they do anything. And spec Miata's cool. In fact, any Miata's cool. Oh man, he's got a 91.6. Is it white? Because mine's white. Also, it was requested that I move like my throttle inputs and stuff higher up the screen so people could see. It's like where it is now, a decent position. Because it's not in my eye line, so it won't annoy me, but it should be better for people watching. Hey man, thank you for the follow. That actually puts me dead on 100, which I've been trying to get to, so I appreciate that. I was hoping I'd be able to get to 100 before the 21st. The reason being that it's because it'll be exactly a month since I started doing this on the 21st. That combination of changes actually helped a ton. I think it's hurt straight line speed a little bit, but it's a lot easier to drive. That will be definitely staying. Thanks, Stephen. We're slowly getting there. We're slowly getting more people watching. I was happy that my setup stuff from last night had about double figures watching. Which I know, yeah, okay, a lot of people get a ton more, but... like, if it helps some people, I'm fine with it. It's fun for me to do and everything, so... I'm glad that people are enjoying it. This lap's kind of been ruined by my over-aggressive down change that happened. Yeah, Twitch is kind of weird for viewership, I found. Like, I noticed that the GSRC channel doesn't get much love on Twitch, but yeah, it'll have a bunch of people watching on YouTube and stuff like that. Like, I've got something like 520 YouTube subscribers, and I kind of put a call out on there for if they wanted to come watch live on Twitch. But I guess it's just a different style of, like, viewer, maybe. Like, I know for sure some people prefer YouTube and some people prefer Twitch and whatnot. Yeah, that's true. See, I like Twitch because people can ask me questions kind of as I go. And I think that works like really well for kind of stuff like this where it's setup based. And it makes it more fun for me as well because, to be honest, doing this like on your own, just turning laps is completely boring. Yeah. I've found that kind of... I feel like this is the kind of deal where it just has to reach, like, a decent number of people who are, like, kind of always in the chat and stuff. Yeah, sure. What's your question, Jason? And why are you asking me questions on stuff like this? You were the one who taught me how to do this. Kind of leaning on front tires a little. Oh, really? I didn't know they did that. In fairness, I have no idea how like simulcasting streams and things works. How much tape should I run at Talladega? For qualifying, I don't know, because it blows up. If you run 100 in qualifying, it blows up. So I don't know. For race, run 25. I don't even care if anybody from NPAS or anything is listening. I'm gonna run 25 in that because the thing gets hot anyway. So yeah, I'm running as little as I can get. And if you're not, you should be too. Because if I'm behind a car that blows up because you're running like 50% tape, I'm gonna be really annoyed. So yeah, I handled pretty well. I actually really liked how that was right there. I still feel like it over rotates a little bit my entry, so we're gonna go up a bit more on toe. How much can we go on toe? You go to 8, okay. We'll try 3. I want to try another thing with that at the same time. Leaning on fronts a little bit, but overall kind of even on the tires, which is nice. I'm gonna try the lower rear spring now. We're gonna go down 100 pounds. Which seems weird because obviously I've already been down at 100 pounds, but I just wanna see if I was kind of getting like a false reading on that. Actually, I need to check tape on this too. 5 wide, 6 wide, they crashed. Yeah. In the test race we did, it was horrendous. Like truly, just absolutely ridiculously bad. The other thing I found weird with that whole drafting thing is that there'd be moments where I'd feel like my car was really, really slow. And that was when like I was near the front of the line. And it felt ridiculously slow. And then all of a sudden you'd just pick up this huge run out of nowhere. Like I was like sliding to the back at one point and I'm like, man, my setup must be really terrible. And then out of nowhere, I just got this massive run, and if it had been clear, like all the way through the front, I could have just shot out to the lead. Like that video of Overland going from the back to the front, like I can totally see how it happens, but there's no real reason for it to do so. It's just super weird. Thanks, Steven. I appreciate it. Ooh. That was bad. I guess I didn't hit the gas enough to shut it down again. It is fun. I don't know if you're free on Saturdays at like 9 o'clock my time, Jason, but that's when this series runs. So I think the more front toes helped a bunch on braking. Feel like I've got a lot more stability now, which is nice. I don't think the rear spring has made any difference whatsoever. It might have actually made it worse, so I'm going to try something else in a second. Also, that blue curb on the inside there, by the way, if you cut too much of it, it gives you a slowdown. So just keep that in mind. Just want to try something really fast. Tricks open set on road course is hard though. Well, I don't think it's that hard. My feelings on these setups that I make for this, which I guess are kind of publicly available, is that you could win with these. I mean, I'm literally making them as I would make them if I was racing. Also, we're trying out an old trick here that I used to do. I won this entire championship using nothing more than 800-pound springs both in the front and rear of the car. So whenever I get lost on spring rates for this thing, that is always my go-to, is to try going straight to 800s in the rear. So I just want to see if this is any good. What I mean is open set. Yeah, but you don't need to do max camber on road courses. You need to do max camber on ovals, but you don't need to do it for road courses. Like this I'm setting up with 4.5, but I found that anywhere between 3.5 and 4.5 is really as high as you need to go on a road course. I have raced stuff with max before, but I tried a couple of these setups with 6 in the front, and honestly, they felt absolutely terrible. That said, I did run max camber at Sonoma last year in the front. I ran 8 and 8s. In Cup, that is. Yeah, but I mean, Bergeron is one hell of a road racer, in fairness. I know he's been doing well on dirt. He just didn't kind of fit with the like the oval side of stuff. He was plenty fast enough. And to be honest, like, stuff like the Peak Series, it kind of really is. Like, don't get me wrong, you have to be fast to be there, but unless you're going to be, like, the outright fastest dude who nobody can ever catch, you do need to have some friends. Because people will and do make your life extremely difficult if you annoy them. Which is really what happened with Bergeron. He made a couple of bad decisions in some wrecks and things, and it just kind of got him a bad deal that he was never able to shake. Oh, that's gonna wreck my time now.
1 minute 56.1.
Yeah, he is. He's actually ridiculous when it comes to dirt. And I've completely blown that corner. But that's okay. But yeah, if you're ever struggling on rear springs or any springs in the truck and you get completely lost, default out to 800 front and rear. And I'm not saying it'll be the best, but it'll work. That's kind of what I always go for. It's still kind of loose in the rear now, but now I kind of feel like I could probably go down a track bar some because I've got the rear spring holding it up. So we're going to drop a 1/2 inch track bar. Also going to pull the rear heights up a little more just because I want to test something. Actually, what we're going to do, we're going to save that first because it felt pretty good. Still kind of leaning on fronts a bit. I like how this right rear just doesn't seem to do anything really on this track. It only really gets used on the left-hander and the Schumacher S, and that's it. Might mess with camber some. Get 7.5 track bar. Kind of don't want to do a camber and a track bar change at the same time. Let's put the track bar back at 8 for a second. I'm just going to go down to 4 on the front camber. That thing is so annoying with the ARB preload. Alright, we're gonna try that. Yeah, I honestly think that Bergeron just got a bad deal in that he made some mistakes and it got him a bad rep, and then that was kind of it for him. Like, for a very short time, I was actually on the same team as him, like, way back in, like, 2016. And he was fast. Like, he was always fast. But he was probably... This is gonna sound weird. He was probably too aggressive for, like, the regular oval stuff. But I think his style works pretty well in dirt because you just have to be aggressive. And honestly, it was a good thing. Yeah, Apex, yeah. It was a good thing that he did well when they put him in the real car. And to be honest, that's true for anybody who's like well known in kind of sim stuff of any kind. That if you give them an opportunity to do something like in the real thing and they're still good, then I kind of feel like that reflects well on everybody involved in this. That's why, like, even if you don't like the guy, I'm never like, oh, I want him to do terribly. Like, I always want him to do well because it looks better for us as a whole. And I know, like, that kind of deal is probably, like, never gonna happen for me because I'm kind of too old for it now. But it's cool that other people get it. Really surprised that wasn't the slowdown. Yeah, I was actually, like, I was just thinking about Novak. I was wondering whatever happened with that, because obviously he won that series. I think he's, like, ZNov_1 or something on here, Jason. That whole drifting stuff with the rear end is really starting to annoy me now. And yeah, 10k isn't really enough. Like, what, get you like 2 sets of tires or something? So was I any slower? I think I was a touch slower. Yeah, okay, so I was actually maybe 2/10. Although I reckon only one of that was camber. So we'll go back to 4.5. But what we're going to do is we're going to go 4.5 and... Alright, what we got? We got 4.5 and 7.5 on the rear track bar. It just kind of drifts a little bit into the corner. How much more rear toe can I have? I can have 330 seconds. Ugh. I really don't like running that much, but I'm intrigued because I've never done it. So let's try it. Yeah. And Speedy 6, I feel like I know who you are, but I actually don't at the same time. Like, I know when you say who you are, I'll know exactly who you are. I'm not guessing, because I'll be wrong. Oh yeah, I was okay, I was correct, I guess. If the next yeah, okay. Hey Garrett. I thought it might be you. Actually, Garrett, you should come race this. You do well. And yeah, it was the 6 that was throwing me off. But when you said about Legends, and then when Jason said that he thought that you were gonna win it, I kind of figured it was you. Also, sucks about what happened at Richmond, man. You were having a really good run. I have missed that by a mile. Going up on the toe is making this a ton easier to drive. I do feel like there's a speed penalty for it. Although this lap isn't accurate because I completely blew turn 1. I want to try that again, but I'm gonna go back up on my tire, on my track bar. Yeah, I'm gonna do a long run on it in a second. I found that I can generally tell by sort of the end of the first timed lap where the balance is gonna go. Yeah, it's brutal, but I mean, you did lose the top 5 out of it, so you should have heard how mad I was about getting knocked out of the way for 7th. What's he gonna go up on rear height to touch? You try 675. Hmm. Yep. Tell me about it, man. I've been ranked out at 2, and I went from like what 8th in the points to like I'm 15th or something now. Like, it's one thing when it's your own fault, it's another when it's outside intervention both times. The sad thing is that the championship's going to be decided on setup, because it's going to be whoever rocks up to Homestead with the best car. Because, like, the old stuff was hard to drive even if it was fast. Like, I mean, I was really fast Homestead last year, but I was absolutely wrecking. Like, now, it's just not like that. Your car's either fast or it's not. I don't mind a chase, like if it was just purely on points, but I hate that it's knockout. Like, I'm really not a fan of the knockout round system. Like, 10 races at the end, and whoever has the most points from those 10 wins is one thing, but a scenario where a guy who's been like nowhere all year takes it at the final round is pretty silly. I think this increased rear height stuff might actually be responsible for why I got too much rotation on entry. But it's something I've wanted to experiment with for a few rounds now, so that's why I'm trying it. More downforce. Well, I was kind of applying like a GT sort of logic to it, where increased rate gives a bit more front bite, but I feel like the mechanical loss of grip of having like the rear end higher is worse than any downforce gains I've got. I mean, I'm gonna go a little faster, but it's harder to drive.
1 minute 56.09.
Let's try and longer on this actually. Might need to think about reconsidering putting like a chat overlay up. Because when I export this to YouTube later, people are going to be wondering what the heck I'm talking about for a lot of this. But I'm not really a big fan of the stream elements chat overlay. Because like it puts like a semi-transparent box on the screen. Participation trophy package. No kidding. I mean, honestly, that 2019 package stems from somebody's idea that close racing is cars in close proximity, not like actual, hey, there's a fast guy trying to overtake a slightly slower guy. Well, they don't, well, I think they do realize, I think they're just hoping that the fans at home don't realize that the top teams still have like a massive advantage. Like, you go back and watch any of the 2019 races that have been ran on the new package. Watch the Penske cars. Every single time they kind of just, well, one of them leads a bunch of the race, but then the other guys kind of just hover around a lot, and then every single time it gets to stage 3, the Penske cars get their way to the front. And it's happened every single race. So I know I'm not imagining it, it's definitely a thing. I don't really think there's a skill gap, to be totally honest with you. Not like, not in the top 20 cars. Maybe like the back 20 there is, but I don't think there's a skill gap in the top 20.
1 minute 57.3.
Yeah, I agree with that. But that's because, like, the pathway for people to get to Cup Series is way more financial based than it is for someone to get to the Peak Series. That said, I think for like the amount of time invested in like that goes into being in the Peak Series, I don't think you can truly say that money isn't a factor, because like I know I wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't. Like I wouldn't be able to dedicate the time I do to it. I will have to read that in a second. I don't have it straight long enough to process and read all of that right now.
1 minute 57.58.
And I missed that by a mile. The good news is I wouldn't say this is getting any harder to drive. I think it's like at its peak difficulty right now. I see you talking about stadium super trucks. I think they're cool. Am I gonna race them? Probably not.
Minute 57.85.
You know what's funny? I really wanted Jimmy Johnson's 2016 championship winning car, but I had like a weird thing when I ordered it from Lionel that like the card I ordered it on got like cancelled before the order got shipped, and so I never got the car. And then I tried to do like a sneaky workaround to get one again, like to reorder an old like a previously ordered item, and they just went, nah. We've already made them all. We're not selling you another one. I think it's a decent enough long run. That's 6 time laps. Shoelaces run tight. I thought it was funny. Yeah, okay, so it's kind of that is really weird tire wear. Like, well, 1% tight on the right and 2% loose on the left. I guess we're leaning on the left rear a lot coming out of corners. Overall, we're pretty close to even though, which is nice. Got more air pressure in the front though, so that's, I guess, probably are like loading them more. What were we looking at for times? Drop off was a little bit severe, I would say, but there are. I find that with the truck, tracks where you got like a lot of stop start corners like this one, the drop off seems way more severe than it does at places where you got a lot of long sweepers. And I'm guessing that's just because the difference is really it's really more pronounced in braking and acceleration from slow speeds than it is at actually mid corner speed. And I feel like that's actually why you see like significantly more drop off at places like Sonoma than you do Watkins Glen with Cup. For probably the same reasons. Now, I am just gonna check tape. So let me cross. So actually kind of undertaped a little bit. Interestingly, it kind of maxes out on the third lap. So like the fourth lap and the third timed lap. So I guess you can use that for setting tape. This thing blows up. Well, doesn't blow up, but starts blowing up when it gets to like 275. So I normally aim for like 10 under. So our max is like 250, and we can get to like 265. So I reckon it could probably handle like 4% more tape. So I'm gonna stick it up to 40. Also gonna close Motec again because I don't need it anymore. And I'm actually going to do 65.5 brake bias because I keep nudging it forwards, but then it doesn't save because I do it in car. I'm pretty happy with how it drives right now, but I feel like it can still like be a little better. Might nudge the ballast forward just like a little bit more. So we're at -9. Let's get to 51.5 nose weight and see what that's like. Yeah, that might be a fairly big swing. Okay, there we go. Just doing that for like a little bit more stability through high speed and things. And hopefully that'll kind of counter the little bit of slide we've got in the rear. Now, I know people hate ballast, but I think maybe people get a bit too kind of precious about that whole thing. Ballast isn't necessarily a bad thing. You shouldn't run more of it than you need, but if you've got a scenario where the thing's just ridiculous levels of loose and everything else you're doing isn't going to fix it, then it's probably ballast. And yeah, I figured you'd like that. Also, ballast makes a ton of difference in high-speed corners. Without really hurting low speed much. Also, you should remember like what this setup's for, and that it's supposed to be like a baseline. Like it's supposed to be fast, but it's supposed to be something that people can work from. So having something that's ridiculous levels of unstable, but like hey, you can get like one fast lap out of it is not really what we're going for. Surprised that wasn't a slowdown. In general, I find stuff that's easier to drive, I go faster with, so it's kind of what I'm trying to apply here. It's not going to come up as a fast lap because I obviously got the thing at the end. Might actually be too tight though. Yeah, it's definitely too tight to be there. Because I think halfway on this would be the best.
Minute 57.2.
Oh, that'll definitely be, yeah, I
Checking
knew it.
everything, my man.
I think we're probably done here anyway. It's kind of tapping out at sort of the same point. I'm gonna go halve on that palace change though. I think it was at 9, so I think 7.5 is probably fine. I can actually get the front down a click or two as well. Oh, 1 click. But that drove pretty good. It's pretty nice to drive. Was kind of leaning on the fronts a little bit more there. It's weird how I got this like strange cross tire wear thing going on. I don't really understand. I guess it's just a combination of corners doing that. But I'm pretty happy with that. I feel like that's definitely a good thing for people to be able to work off of or work around. It's definitely you could make it easier, I guess, with even more rear toe. I really think that's probably where this. If there's anything to be gained, that's where it's going to be. It's going to be in some sort of combination between ballast, ballast rear toe, and track bar mounts. I don't really see anything else is going to really give you anything. It's possible there's a little more with front camber or something. But overall, that feels... It's probably one of the easiest ones to drive I think I've made so far. Which is cool. The tire drop-off's interesting. I don't really know why it's as bad as it is, but hey, that is how it is, so we'll roll with it, I guess. Yeah, guess I'm gonna call it here at this point. We've been going for like 1 hour and 40, I think, so that's probably it from me. I'll upload this. I'll put the video on YouTube, and I'll put the setup in the SOR forum, so you can get hold of that. I guess if you're not in SOR, you should join. You should race it. It's a good league. I would definitely recommend it. It's a lot of fun if you have time at like around, I want to say 10 p.m. European time on a Saturday. Then you should definitely take a look, because it is a lot of fun. It's really well run. The penalties and stuff are really consistent and kind of don't really take kindly to people just bashing people out of the way. So you'll get good racing, and if you're a victim of bad racing, whoever's at fault will get a punishment. So I would definitely recommend doing it. I ran it for 2 seasons. I had a lot of fun. And yeah, it's a cool league. Go check it out. Hopefully, Steven can maybe provide a link in chat or something. If you can't, just find it. But you can find the webpage just by Googling Socks Out Racing. So thank you all for hanging out. It was a lot of fun. I'll probably do another stream of something. Not tonight, but over the weekend. Might play some, but it'll probably be some other games or something. Or I might do like an A-Fixed at Rockingham. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks, Garrett, for pushing us up to 100 followers. It's really appreciated. It's really cool to be able to get that. I'll catch you all another time.